Altazor, Canto 3. Break the loops of veins, the links of breath and chains, of eyes, paths of horizons, flower screened on uniform skies, soul paved with recollections like stars carved by the wind. The sea is a roof of bottles that dreams in the sailor's memory. The sky is that pure and flowing hair braided by the hands of the aeronaut, and the aeroplane carries a new language to the mouth of eternal skies. Chains of glances tie us to the earth, break so many chains. The first man flies to light the sky, space bursts open in a wound, and the bullet returns to the assassin, forever tied to the infinite. Cut all the links of river, sea, or mountain, of spirit and memory, of dying lore and fever dreams. It's the world that turns, goes on and whirls. It's the ultimate iris. Tomorrow the countryside will follow the galloping horses. The flower will suck the bee, for the hanger will be a hive. The rainbow will become a bird and fly singing to its nest. Crows will become planets sprouting feathers of grass. Leaves will be stray feathers falling from their throats. Glances will be rivers and rivers wounds in the legs of space. The flock will guide its shepherd so the day can doze drowsy as an aeroplane, and the tree will perch on the turtle dove while clouds turn to stone. For everything is as it is in every eye, an ephemeral astrological dynasty falling from universe to universe. The poet is a manicurist of language, and not the magician who lights and douses, stellar words and cherries of vagabond goodbyes far from the hands of earth. And everything he says is his invention. Things outside the everyday world, let us kill the poet who gluts us. Poetry still, and poetry, poetical poetry, poetical poetry by poetical poets, poetry, too much poetry, from the rainbow of the piano bench ass of the lady next door. Enough poetry, bambina, enough lady. It still has bars across its eyes. The game is a game and not an endless prayer. Smiles or laughter, not the iris's little lamps that wheel from affliction towards the sea. Smiles and gossip of the weaver star, smiles of a brain that summons dead stars from the seance table of its radiance. Enough, Lady Harp, of the beautiful images, of clandestine illuminated lights. It's something else we're looking for, something else. We already know how to dart a kiss like a glance, plant glances like trees, cage trees like birds, water birds like heliotropes, play a heliotrope like music, empty music like a sack, decapitate a sack like a penguin, cultivate penguins like vineyards, milk a vineyard like a cow, unmast cows like schooners, comb a schooner like a comet, disembark comets like tourists, charm tourists like snakes, harvest snakes like almonds, undress an almond like an athlete, feel athletes like cypresses. Light cypresses like lanterns, nestle lanterns like skylarks, heave skylarks like sighs, embroider sighs like silks, drain silks like rivers, raise a river like a flag, pluck a flag like a chicken, douse a chicken like a fire, row through fires like seas, reap seas like wheat, ring wheat like bells, bleed bells like lambs, draw lambs like smiles, bottle smiles like wine, set wine like jewels, electrify jewels like sunset, man sunsets like battleships, dethrone a battleship like a king, hoist kings like dawns, crucify dawns like prophets, etc., etc., etc. Enough, Sir Violin, sunk in a wave, everyday wave of misery religion, of dream after dream, possession of jewels. After the heart-eating roses and the nights of the perfect ruby, the new athlete leaps on the magic track, frolicking with magnetic words, hot as the earth when a volcano rises, hurling the sorceries of his bird phrases. The last poet withers away, the bells of the continents chime, the moon dies with the night on its back, the sun pulls the day out of its pocket, the solemn new lands open its eyes, and moves from earth to the stars, the burial of poetry. All the languages are dead, dead in the hands of the tragic neighbour. We must revive the languages with raucous laughter, with wagons of cackles, with circuit breakers in the sentences and cataclysm in the grammar. Get up and walk, stretch your legs, limber those stiff joints, fires of laughter for the shivering language, astral gymnastics for the numb tongues. Get up and walk. Live like a soccer ball, burst in the mouth of motorcycle diamonds, in the drunkenness of its fireflies. The very vertigo of its liberation, a beautiful madness in the life of the word, a beautiful madness in the zone of language, adventure lined with tangible disdain. The adventure of language between two wrecked ships, a delightful catastrophe on the rails of verse. And since we must live and not kill ourselves, as long as we let livers play, the simple sport of words, of the pure word and nothing more, with no images awash with jewels, words carry too much weight. A ritual of shadowless words, an angel game where, in the infinite, word, by the light of a star that crashes and brings to life, sparks leap from crash and then more violent, more enormous the explosion, passion of a game in space. With no moon wings, no pretense, single combat between chest and sky, total severance of voice and flesh at last, echo of light bleeding air in the air, then nothing, spirit whisper of the wordless phrase.